morning and welcome to the Haven Financial Group radio show. I'm Larry Colvig, founder and CEO of the Haven Financial Group. On with Kyle Thomas, a certified financial planner on the investment and team at Haven. Kim, good to be with you. And I just want to let the listeners know that they can give us a call at 612-504-8400 or havenfinancialgroup.com. Ask us questions. Challenge us on if you think something is not right. We're always interested to hear other opinions because we're all entitled to these opinions. But great to have you. And Kim, good to be with you as well.
Well, it's great to be with both of you. It's so nice to see you, Kyle. Thanks for joining us this week.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Well, it's great to have you. My understanding is that we're going to talk about what it takes to retire. And I think that's probably a question you guys get so frequently from so many people. We're going to start by talking about consistency and stability and why that's required when it comes to retirement. Then we'll talk about retirement beyond Social Security. A lot of people depending on their Social Security for their retirement income, but it takes more than just Social Security. A brief history of Social Security, and then 8 mistakes to avoid when you are transitioning into retirement. Would I be correct if I say that that's probably the number one question? Maybe that be, and then the number, in addition to the idea of what does it take to retire and do I have enough? That must be the 2 questions you guys get the most.
Yeah, it is. Can I retire? When can I retire? Do I have enough to retire? Am I going to run out at 95? Is it 75? Is it never? Those are the biggest questions we get. And again, those are valid questions and probably important questions that you should have some pretty concise answers to as you're entering retirement. You know, when you're young, it seems like you got all these years. I got all these years to save for retirement, 20, 30 years, and the time frame is just so long. And the next thing you know, 5 years or less, and oh my goodness, I can't believe we're already to this stage. So you can never start too early. We're going to talk about some of these things. Better to start now small rather than not start at all. Can you play catch up? If you're actually listening and you've delayed and not been a good saver, yes, you can play catch up, but it would start by having a plan. And of course, Kim, that's what you and I talk about every single week.
Absolutely. Well, one of the things that I think we want to talk about, I know you guys would like to, is consistency and stability when it comes to retirement and how important those 2 are to make for a comfortable, retirement, great golden years. But how do you achieve consistency and stability? So Kyle, I'm going to throw that right at you.
Yeah, that's a great question because, well, we all know one of the biggest places to invest money is into the stock market, and that is consistently inconsistent, right? So that it's important to make sure that we can plan around that and making sure that we can come to the table and put a plan together that can plan for all these things. That's one of the most important things to do, and one of the first things to do as you're getting close to these retirement years and throughout retirement as well. So we want to make sure we have a plan for sustainability and make sure we have that financial security for us. And then once we have that, then we can look at our investments and see what kind of controlled volatility portfolio, we can make. Because we want to limit that volatility as much as possible. Although, we may target 5 or 6%, whatever that percentage is for returns every single year, we know that it's not going to just be a static 5 or 6%. There's going to be variations. We could be up 15, we could be down 50. There's a wide range of what can happen. So that's why we want to try and make sure that we have that plan that lets us be able to handle the inconsistencies. Although we do want to try and be as consistent as possible with our returns and our withdrawals, our spending, all those things. So it's super important to make sure that we have that. Because that's how we have the best measure of what our longevity and sustainability planning is going to be in the future.
Sure. And of course, when you're planning, you're planning for the long term.
Yeah, you definitely are. You should be. You should be, because God willing, we hope we have long term in our recipe, right?
Right.
The reality is, at Haven Financial Group, we're not limited in scope, but we are focused on retirement planning. Whether you're 10, 20, or 30 years out, that's fine. But a lot of our clients, a lot of folks that come out to our classes, are 5 years or less, or they're in retirement. And we do tend to be a little more conservative here because the element of time with folks that we sit down is shorter. And wealth protection is so important because many that we visit with, that come in and we sit down with, they've accumulated some sort of wealth. Now, when I say wealth, don't think only the rich people, only the rich people. Larry's not talking to me right now. Yes, actually, I am, because wealth means different things to different people. And whether it's small, medium, or large, this is you. But protecting those monies, the investments that you've saved for all those years. I always say defense wins championship. It's great to have offense, but in money management and investments, your offense is probably in those 10, the 20s, the 30-year-olds, the 40-year-olds. And then as you get closer to retirement, on the defense, protect that wealth that you've secured.
Sure.
Long term will provide much more sufficient funds, and longer financial goals will be reached by having that consistency, protecting from market volatility, creating the diversification that can mitigate some of these ups and downs with the market. Again, doesn't mean you have to put all of it in the mattress of your house, but having good liquidity, principal protected investments, and then a good balance on the stock market investments, that makes up a good recipe.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk about some of the consistency. Now, obviously, Social Security is an income source that is pretty consistent. We're going to talk more about that in a few minutes. But I know that annuities are something that you guys talk about, and that can be a very consistent source when it comes to income in retirement. Let's talk about accumulation annuities, what they are, and why they could be so good for someone in retirement.
Yeah, if you're listening and you hear the word annuity, and now you're putting up the caution signs, oh, I don't like annuities because somebody told me I'm not supposed to like them. I get it. I've seen all the marketing. We've seen all the marketing. And for many, that there is some truth to that. Now, if you're ever interested in a class that I teach, the truth about annuities, I only teach it a couple times a year. Go to our Haven website. See when I offer that. It's really called The Truth About Annuities, because there's a lot of misconceptions, right? You asked the question about, accumulation annuities.
Mm-hmm.
That isn't what people think of when they think annuities, because the word annuity usually over the years has meant payments. Now, you can use annuities. I think next segment, we're going to talk about that, for payments. But maybe you have a pension, Social Security suffice. Maybe you just want some principal protection without the exposure of the stock market. You can get that with an annuity. Now, the important part is to understand which one of the four annuities can you do that with. Is it better served by a fixed annuity with a set rate? Is it a variable annuity that goes up and down with the market? Be cautious. Is it a fixed indexed annuity, which can give you some great upside without any downside? Again, if it sounds too good to be true, ask more questions. Or do I turn my money over to an insurance company and they just send me paychecks, which we'll talk about in the next segment? So understanding the concept of annuity, is it appropriate for you and your plan, or is it not appropriate? For some, it's not appropriate. Others, it can be a great puzzle piece to your investable assets.
Mm-hmm. Do you find that a lot of people come in and don't know much about annuities, and they ask a lot of questions?
100%, 75%, I would say.
Yeah.
Well, we read it. I hate annuities, and you should hate annuities, because that was an ad in the paper, in the back of the Star Trib, on their MSN homepage, whatever it may be. There's a lack of education. And you also have to be careful. There are folks out there that just sell annuities. Annuities aren't for everybody. You don't have to like them. You don't even have to use them. But they can be an effective part of your portfolio if done properly. It starts, like we always talk, Kim, with the education piece about what we're talking about.
Sure, absolutely. Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about annuities and how that can relate to your Social Security, and certainly how that can enhance your retirement as we continue on here. We're talking about what it takes to retire today. If we've talked about something here that might be of interest to you, you'd like to get together with the folks there at Haven Financial Group and talk over. Maybe it's annuities. Maybe it's just a plan that you need first and foremost, and you want to discuss annuities as well. Give them a call. It's 612-504-8400. Again, that number is 612-504-8400. You can also check out their website. It's havenfinancialgroup.com and learn more about the firm there. All right, gentlemen, when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about retirement beyond Social Security. You're listening to the Haven Financial Group radio show.